Well, hello, my lovelies. Cousin Abe here, and I've got one more recipe before the year ends, and we're going to make it right now. And that is going to be a dairy-free cherry chocolate banana ice cream. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this recipe, you're going to need a food processor. You're going to need frozen cherries. You're going to need frozen bananas, and you're going to need a liquid. So let's go ahead and get that started. So the cherries need to be pitted. I got frozen cherries from one of the specialty stores. Cherries aren't really in this time of year, so you're gonna probably use frozen. And I think for this recipe, you probably should just use frozen in general. So I've got 1.5 cups. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use only 1 cup of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put, I've already got it measured out. So I'm just gonna put, a little bit in here. Not a little bit, but like 1 cup. I'm gonna eyeball it. So I think that's about 1 cup. Okay, and then we're also got, this is gonna be awesome. I've also got some frozen bananas. And basically the recipe calls for 2 bananas that are peeled. So I'm gonna assume that this is 2 peeled bananas and it's frozen as well. So I am using frozen fruits, but you of course can use fresh fruits. The idea is to have the fruits kind of slushy and solid before you put them into the freezer. But I don't wanna get ahead of myself on this recipe, but it's a really good recipe. So these are my bananas. I got that. Okay. Next up, you're gonna need a liquid. So I'm a big advocate, obviously, of all my recipes of almond milk. So the thing about this is that it calls for a splash. So we all have a different idea what a splash is. Splashes is gonna be a splash like that. All right, so we're almost there. One more thing is that they're gonna ask you to do is they want you to, well not they, but the recipe calls for vanilla. So I'm gonna just do some vanilla. Calls for 1/2 tablespoon to 1 tablespoon. Remember, vanilla is very, very strong and vanilla goes very, very far. So I'm gonna just risk it and it's gonna go like that. All right, and then we're done. Next up, let's go like this. Calls for you to start off on a pulse, or excuse me, mix, and then you're gonna go to a pulse. So we're gonna mix. Stop for just a second. Now, as you can see, it's kind of already getting its texture. There's the bananas are nice and slushy. We've got the cherries in there. We're almost done. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this back on pulse for another like maybe 20 seconds. And then what's gonna happen is when I'm done doing the pulse, I'm gonna gradually add the chocolate and I'm gonna add the rest of the cherries. And then we may have to add a little bit more almond milk to just kind of take the stuff that's on the side and make it more slushy. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm gonna go ahead and just pulse it a little bit longer. That's enough. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add the rest of the cherries. So when you add the rest of the cherries, which would be see it's 1.5 cups, so the 1/2 cup of cherries left, and this is about 1/2 cup of the dark chocolate. You're gonna actually stop it, and then you're going to put everything in, and then you're gonna put it on pulse. So let's just go ahead and just do that now. I'm gonna put this on pulse. Let's do this. Try this over, folks. I think we'll do it like that. This one's easy. And next up, we're gonna just add the rest of the cherries. All right, so we're at the last stage, so we're gonna pulse. Something to keep in mind, so when you're pulsing, so you're going from mixing to pulse. The appearance is gonna look the same, but the pulsing is supposed to kind of give it more of this weird texture. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna show you the outcome. And this looks so awesome. So the idea is basically to get it all slushy. I'm gonna remove this. This is the blade. I'm gonna show you just what it looks like now. As you can see, everything's mixed up in there. I've got the almond milk, I've got my Bing cherries, or not my Bing cherries, the frozen cherries, I've got bananas, got a little vanilla. After doing all of that, this is the outcome. So what's up next is, if you want to, and I know when I made that, I'm sorry folks, the chocolate didn't come out the way I wanted to when I was trying to pour it in there. So ideally what you want to do is, when you're mixing it, when you're adding the last bit of chocolate and the last bit of cherries, the idea is to have it covered and to be able to pour it in there. I didn't rehearse that part first, but you get the idea. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Anywho, as they would say. I've got a container here. So what you want to do is you want to pour it into here, you want to put it into the freezer, and you want to freeze it for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Also, too, you have another option. If you want to eat it right away, which I'm sure you probably may, it's good to have a glass already chilled. So I just happen to have one chilled, and I'm going to show you how I would serve this. So first of all, two options. This is going to go into the freezer, and just look at the color. And if you want, you can also have some yourself. Oh. Sorry folks. All right, let me just set this down for a moment and clean this up. Not too bad. Okay, all right, so those are your two options. Serve it right now. That's already chilled. Remember folks, all this was cherries, bananas, dark chocolate, a splash of almond milk, and some vanilla. And this is what we got. I'm gonna try this. Oh my God. Yes, so definitely, everything is present. The dark chocolate, the cherries are very tart, but very nice. But the bananas are very smooth. There's a hint of banana. So the whole power, everything that's coming through are the chocolate and the cherries. The bananas, you can taste it, but it's not too overpowering. So that's what you're looking at. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a lid on this. I'm gonna put it in the freezer. So many things you can do with this. You can actually, if you want to, you can get an ice cube tray and just pour these into your ice cubes and have little treats for yourself throughout the day. You can do this. What I'm doing is I'm putting this in a little container, putting it in the refrigerator. You can chill for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, but that's kind of what that is. All right, folks. So this is the last video for 2020, and I wanted to give you something that I found was just pretty awesome. And who doesn't like ice cream? And I know that I have an audience that, a lot of my audience, they have issues with their digestive system. They can't eat dairy, so this is a great alternative. Once again, let's just recap on this, because this is such an easy recipe, and I went really quickly through it. Food processor, cherries, bananas, all frozen. Get your choice of liquid. So liquid, I use almond milk. I know some people use soy, some people use coconut, some people use anything other than milk. That's gonna be your liquid. You can do a splash. A splash in my world is a splash. Go ahead and you're gonna grind it or mix it for about 20 seconds. Kind of keep an eye on it. Toward the end, you're gonna use your chocolate. So your chocolate's gonna be the last. And as you're switching from mixing to pulsing, that's when you're gonna be adding the chocolate and you're gonna be adding the rest of the cherries. So the ideal is, and I think everyone probably can agree, that a lot of these gourmet ice creams are kind of like this. So this is kind of a replica of that, minus the dairy. So I know this is a hard time for a lot of us, and I have found that these recipes have given me some satisfaction in the kitchen during this hunker down. So I am just giving some advice that maybe my viewers might take the time to go in the kitchen and cook some of these recipes and find out that you really do like baking. And all this is new to me, so if you go back and you check out my 3 other videos, I have one on brownies that's made out of black beans, I have the mousse that's made out of avocado, and I also have a video that I just got done shooting that's a chocolate torte cake that's made out of garbanzo beans, and now we're presenting you with an ice cream. So this is a lot of nice, fun, easy, warm desserts that you can make during this lockdown, and that's why I'm so excited. So keep viewing, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy all my videos, and 2021 is going to be a great year because I'm going to be continuing to provide you with these alternative desserts. I'm going to doing alternative meals, but I'm going to focus on chocolate, and I'm going to be focusing on ways of just eating chocolate and being healthy and not feeling guilty. So remember, folks, that you're all blessed and that we are all in this together, and take care. Bye.